Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. And if you're new, welcome to the party. There's still pizza in the back. This video is a bit of a newsy patch notes kind of video. We're getting two champions rebalanced, and one of them is a mythical champion, Androck the Glorious. I hate this guy every time I get into arenas against him. And the other one is gonna be an Ogrin tribe champion, and let's see if I remember his name. Diamant. This guy here. So let's talk about it. Let's see if these rebalances are any good and if these champions are getting stronger or worse. Let's jump into the video. Alright boys, Diamond Copper Coin. Let's see the balance changes on this champion. Void, support, Ogrin tribe, and of course a legendary champion. Let's zoom it in a little bit so it's easier for you to see it on the screen as well. He's a charitable... What? Charitable donation. Is that his first? No, that's his second skill, so that's not his basic. This one here, attacks all enemy, increases the duration of all ally buffs by 1 turn, fills this champion's turn meter by 10, fills their turn meter by additional 5 for each buff that had its duration increased by this skill. And that was before. And for after, we have attacks all enemies, so this stays the same. Increases the duration of all allies' buffs by 1 turn, but then fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%. Same cooldown. So it doesn't fill his turn meter anymore. This time it fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%. And then he has an ally speed aura for 20% in all battles. That's not too bad, so he can... I guess he's becoming a bit of a booster, right? Now, after these changes. Okay, let's see if anything else here is interesting. This is not bad. As for his final skill, Kingpin, has a 50% chance to convert a debuff into a buff before it is placed on this champion. This was before. Works with the following debuffs. So we have a few debuffs here that this works on. And then as for the after rebalance, it has a 50% chance, which is pretty much the same, to convert a debuff into a buff before it is placed on an ally. Okay. So, so they changed everything on his kit that used to apply on him to team-wide. His first skill is on all allies, and then this one is on an ally. Kingpin, is this a skill or is this an... Oh, this is an or this is a passive. And it has no cooldown. Oh, this might be good actually. So it can be on all allies as well. But then it converts the decreased attack into increased attack, decreased defense into increased defense, decreased speed into increased speed, decreased crit rate into increased crit rate, and decreased crit damage into increased crit damage. I don't know how to feel about this. I guess it's always better to have skills that are more of a team-wide than focused on a single champion or on self-buffing. In this case, he becomes pretty much a team booster, right? But then this passive here with a 50% chance to convert a debuff, I mean, it's not on himself anymore, so it's on all allies in a way. Not too bad. All right, let's have a look at the second change in the rebalance. And that would be our guy here, Androck, the Mythical. So let's see if it's for the better. This guy is still pretty decent, the way it is right now. All right, let's look at the base form. Before, his first skill, Pride's Bite. Is that his first skill? It is indeed. Attacks one enemy, places 60% increased defense buff on all allies. Very good. He was already very good. Now it has, they added a damage multiplier increased. Right, so they are giving him damage. When I see damage multiplier increase, guys, this is a tricky thing to see in Raid, because you never know how bad this can go, you know, how strong it can be. Right, let's have a look at the second skill, Rock of Warimbor. I almost read Rock the Wiener. I don't know, for some reason. Right, what is this? This is actually his third skill. Places a 50% increased resistance buff, 25 strengthen buff, 15% continuous heal, This went on all allies. We already know that. And then this, he adds an additional 15% continuous heal buffs on all allies with less than 50% HP. As for the change, places 50% increased resistance, strengthen, continuous heal, everything stays the same, but then also fills the turn meter of all allies by 15%. Let's go! If you have Androck, not only that now he's buffing you a lot, now he's also a booster. 15% turn meter control. Not bad. Not bad at all. As for his passive, this used to increase this champion's resistance by 10 for each buff on each ally. It also says that critical hits inflicted by allies fills the turn meter of all allies by 5%. Now let's have a look at the change here. Increases each ally's resistance by 10 for each buff on all allies. So this guy went from single target to all allies. Booster, he's also increasing resistance for each buff, so he can get up to, I don't know, nowadays in raid you start, if you play against PvE, waves, bosses, whatever, you have like, I don't know, 20 buffs on yourself. And besides that, critical hits inflicted by allies fills the turn meter of all allies by 5%, so your damage dealers are gonna increase turn meter for everybody. Very nice. Let's have a look at his alternate form. There you go. Oh my goodness. We still don't have Mythical on the account, besides Lady Mikage. We fused Lady Mikage last month, and she's one of our best champions. But I wished, well, I guess I need to pull out my wallet to pull for some champions with primal shards, to hopefully get ourselves a second Mythical. But yes, let's go back to Androck. And let's go back to his second form, which again, I repeat, it looks pretty gnarly. It reminds me of, what's his name? I'm not sure if you ever watched Seven Deadly Sins. There is a guy called Escanor, and this guy reminds me a bit of Escanor. Pretty similar, right? In a golden armor. I guess you'll have to take down the lion style helmet and maybe give him an axe. So let's have a look at this. Before, his first skill attacks when enemies, 50% chance of placing 60% decreased debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. Strong. And now it has damage multiplier increased. Again, we shall see this damage multiplier later on after testing. For his second skill, we have attacks all enemies, places 50% decreased resistance, debuff, 25% weaken, enfeeble, and this goes on all enemies for 2 turns. If the enemies have 50% or less HP, the enfeeble debuff cannot be removed. Okay, and the change would be also decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 15%. And then again, look at this right here. I'm gonna zoom in for you just in case you missed it. Can I do it? Damage multiplier increased. Hopefully, if you have Androck and this damage multiplier is not only that you get all these juicy buffs and he's becoming a booster, he might also deal some damage himself. And then for his third skill, Roar of Kitharus, let me just zoom it in so you can see it better. It removes all buffs from all enemies. It deals pure damage to each enemy, which means it ignores, it used to, it still does because they haven't changed it yet. It basically ignores defense. And then it also places a block buffs, debuff on all enemies without buffs for 2 turns. So this guy is very strong on its own right now. As for the change, it removes all buffs from all enemies. It stays the same. Then attacks all enemies. Removes all buffs, deals pure damage to each enemy. So it used to attack all enemies as well, but then attacks all enemies. If the target is a boss, the damage inflicted is equal to 10%. Oh my goodness. If the target is a boss, the damage inflicted is equal to 10% of their max HP. So now he's also becoming a max HP percentage damage dealer. And you know how strong these are. Everybody wants them against bosses, against any sorts of PvE content, but especially against bosses. And this guy is also pretty good in arenas as well. Turn meter decreased by 15%, turn meter increase on yourself by 15%, and a bunch of debuffs and increased resistance. This champion rebalance is quite nice actually, I like it a lot. Too bad I don't have him. Alright boys, and lastly, his passive increases this champion's accuracy by 10% by 10 for each buff on each enemy. Each critical hit inflicted by allies decreases the turn meter of all enemies by 5%. And then for the change, we have increases each ally's accuracy by 10 for each buff on all enemies. Wow, okay, this is nice. So it's not going on himself anymore, it's going on all allies. And then each critical hit inflicted by allies decreases the turn meter of all enemies. Again, this stayed the same, but if there are multiple... Oh, never mind. I thought I'm gonna read something new, but they're just saying that obviously if you have him twice, by whatever means you pulled Androck twice, you cannot really get too crazy with it. And then we also have a change here that affects his... Can you see it? No, I guess you cannot really see it. That affects his base form Ascension. It used to be speed 10, 110. It used to be 110 speed, and now it went up to 115. So they basically gave him an extra 5 speed. Speed is always good, especially in arenas and pretty much everywhere. Like here, I did manage to pull 300 speed on Lady Mikage. And she's one of my go-to arena champions for debuffing. And sometimes this 5 speed that you see here from 110, let me see if I can turn my camera off for a second. You see this? It went up from 110 to 115. This 5 speed, it makes the difference sometimes. Alright guys, these are the 2 champions that are getting rebalanced as soon as next week. Quick glance on this champion here. I didn't really see him much, so I believe not many people are playing him. But yeah, this guy's became a booster. And Androck has became a monster. Have fun. If you have this guy, have fun playing with him. Alright boys, this was the patch notes. I was Mr. Man Plays. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like the video and push the subscribe button in case you haven't. It helps the community grow. We've just managed to reach just a bit over 10,000 subscribers. Thank you very much for all that are joining the channel. And another nice thing is that if you download the game with my download link below, you're gonna get yourself up to 3 free legendaries and 3 epics. So just check the description box below for more details. That's it. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. If you download the game with my link below, or if you want to reroll your account, you will start the game fresh with the best promo out there. 3 free legendaries and 3 free epics. Corrado, after finishing tutorial, you can use the promo code to get Tholin as well, Demon Slayer in the first 72 hours, and your 3rd legendary will come in July when we start our 7-day login chase for Lemonisi Goldwing.